the meat of the matter was the main event thing, but to get there, they had Triple H do the rah-rah speech. And Heyman did a great promo in the back. It was kind of a pre-tape thing. But basically, Triple H, they introduced him, and he gave the history of WrestleMania from number 1 all the way through all these names, blah, blah, blah. Gave a rah-rah speech. And
there's one big name he didn't mention. There's one name that has always been considered a name to be mentioned at WrestleMania that no one mentioned at all at this event.
No. And that's the question I was about to ask you. Was Triple H really heavy at the end on, it's a new company, it's a new era, it's an all new WWE with new people involved. Nobody here has fucking done evil things like you've heard. It almost sounded like that, didn't it?
He should just come out and say, only one woman in this company has ever seen my dick. Just one. And that's my wife. That would go a long way, too.
Well, now, hold on. Because we have to think, well, now.
No, I'm not alluding to anything, and either are you, but.
No, I'm just thinking, if nothing else, then remember all the times DX used to pull their pants down and get censored.
Oh, that's true.
How many female production people? The Jennifer Good, I guess, is long gone. She used to work in the office or in the production company.
Yeah, he's in a rough position because he's still out there, the face of the company, and the company still hasn't really said anything about Vince. The one thing about all this Rock stuff was it took a lot of the attention away from Vince because that was the overwhelming thing on top of everything, and that was the Royal Rumble weekend. It's a new company. Maybe get rid of the tagline "Together Forever." That may not work anymore. That was a Vince thing, I believe. Let's get rid of "Together Forever." Forever together. Like, we want to
together
forever be separated. Maybe Vince.
Yeah, we'd like to be separated right when you cross the county line to Rikers Island. We'd like to be.
The other thing is, in a lot of respects. And there's still there's still a reckoning to come for everything that happened in the past. It does feel like a new company. The way they're dealing with things, the small changes to production, the way stars are being presented, the kind of deals that some guys are getting structured.
Yeah.
The ownership, obviously, the flywheel, the people who are in charge. It is a new company. And, Vince still has shares, so he's not completely gone away. But the belief is that he doesn't have enough shares to be a problem or to really influence anything.
I have shares in some companies, but I don't have enough shares to where whether I'm here or not, they would ever say, well, he's gone away. He owns 12% of the thing, but there are entities that are put in place that own more of that. He can't force his way back on the board. He can't. I mean, he can call anybody on the phone, I guess, and say anything he wants to them, but they don't have to listen to him anymore, right?
I guess. Wouldn't that be something? If Vince is calling again, tell him I'm busy.
Yeah.
Tell him I'm treating women respectfully over here. That's very interesting. But again, Triple H, he's still there. He is in a lot of ways the face of the company, the Dana White of WWE. And obviously, it's going to play into all this stuff with The Rock. That seems rather apparent now. But they do need to kind of, in multiple ways, show that it's a new company, be a new company. And a lot of the things that they're doing are looking in that direction, but they still have to answer for a lot of things. Well, the new company has to answer for a lot of things.
Yeah, such as, how did you tolerate his presence over the last year? When you didn't necessarily have to, depending on what you knew. But now we're finding out that not only maybe TKO or Endeavor or whoever was supposed to know these things didn't know these things. Apparently, and we'll get to that later on, in our apparently now weekly Vince segment, Vince had these agreements drawn up. The NDA with Janelle Grant. I know I'm getting off on a side topic here. We'll talk about it again. Remind me to bring it up. But there were 3 copies of it. One for her, one for him, and one for the WWE. He never signed the copy that she got. She signed all of them. then he privately signed the one that covered him and signed the one that covered the WWE and put those away without telling the WWE that they existed. Have you read about this?
I saw something about that, yeah.
So what the fuck kind of kabuki-ish bullshit even? And then he didn't sign her copy of the NDA, but he sent the first $1 million payment. And then apparently had done this other under the table paperwork to say if anything ever came of it, he could produce an NDA that she couldn't talk about the WWE and an NDA that she couldn't talk about him. But the WWE didn't even know that they existed. And all right, anyway.
Can you imagine the first time, like, after any of these people heard these stories about Vince, like, oh my God, I'll never see him the same way again. Anyone who didn't know. And then the next time he walks in the room, he's got that new look. Like, oh my God, he's really doubling down and leaning into this, isn't he?
Well, speaking of doubling down and leaning in, let's get finished with Triple H because he did the all new thing numerously. And then, did you notice the dramatic milk that he did for his "Are you ready?
Are you ready?"
And the dramatic, it just looked like it looked like he was Mitch McConnell from a few months ago. He just froze up at the press conference. He was just standing there. He was dramatic milking, but the people that came didn't know what he was milking. And in the "Are you ready?" it got tepid response. And "You ain't seen nothing yet" got eh. So anyway.
Whenever someone says you ain't seen nothing yet, it's like the last time you see them on TV or they're gone like 2 weeks later. Roddy Piper did that once at the Hall of Fame. You ain't seen nothing yet. And then we never saw him again.
And besides, the reason why that line is famous was because it came right after people had seen the first sound motion fucking picture scene. And they really hadn't seen anything before that, really. But now we've all seen a lot of something. So you can't really just say that, just bandy that phrase. You ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, we've seen way too much shit by now. Sound, that was a big fucking deal. Now we've been bombarded.
You ain't read nothing yet. When do we hear what we're going to read next?
Yes.